Well, hello there, dearest viewer, and welcome back to the channel that debunks absolute nonsense without actually knowing what it's talking about. Yes, today we are looking at Kent Hovind, and he has got some positive sightings for the Loch Ness Monster.
So in 6 days, God made everything. Not millions of years ago, he created the dinosaurs and then us. No, everything was made in 6 days.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's not grifting conman and fake Dr. Kent Hovind. Who's this dude? Ah, I see what you're doing. Intro first. Yes, hello there, dearest viewer, and welcome back to my channel. Before we go any further, please like, share and subscribe. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. And please, please, please either drop us a super thanks or consider becoming a patron or channel member. These lovely people did. Who we've got here now? We've got Alan L, Bob Sadler, Morris Goto, District Driver, Joe H, and brand new channel member, Tony. Thank you very much, Tony, for signing up. Yes, thank you guys for your wonderful contributors. Thank you, Blackadder the Third. All contributions will go to improving my PC so I can turf out better videos. Back to the video, and I thought I'd take a bit of a break from the fraudity videos that I've done. Loads and loads of views on those, so thanks to everybody that's interacted with them. And I thought I'd go back to young Earth creationists, particularly one young Earth creationist who identifies himself as a doctor. This is Kent Hovind we're talking about, and he's about as far from being a doctor as I am from being slim. Anyway, this ungodly moron thinks he has some verified sightings of the Loch Ness Monster.
So in 6 days, God made everything. Not millions of years ago, he created the dinosaurs and then us. No, everything was made in 6 days.
That is not Kent Hovind, unless he's pulling some sort of Benjamin Button stunt on us. But Hovind, I know your game. I'm on to you. You know, doctor, and I use the term doctor quite wrongly, you know that the idea of the existence of the Loch Ness Monster is preposterous. It's almost as dumb as young Earth creationism. It's almost as dumb as the Earth being flat. So, what have you done? You have sent out one of your cult followers to make this video because you know how preposterous it sounds that the Loch Ness Monster is alive and well and living in Loch Ness. What a load of old crap. You have sent out one of your cult followers so that you, Mr. Hovind, don't look any more stupid than you already do.
I'm sure some of you may have heard of the Loch Ness Monster before.
Well, yes, duh. I live in the UK, so it's hard not to have heard about the Loch Ness Monster. And before I go on, the Earth wasn't created in 6 days. The Earth isn't 6,000 years old. And to use Dr. Kent Hovind's vernacular, it's all baloney.
Loch Ness is this big lake in Scotland. It's 24 miles long, a mile and a half across in some areas, and about 1,000 feet deep at the center. Everybody alive today could drown in that lake at the same time. It's huge.
Well, yeah, it's bloody big. In fact, according to monstertheloch.com, the entire world's population, that's 7.3 billion people, can fit into Loch Ness. 15 times over. But only 260 million can stand on its surface. And that is only if they are called Jesus.
People have been seeing a creature living in the lake. They call it the Loch Ness Monster.
Wow, no shit, Sherlock.
There's been over 11,000 sightings of the Loch Ness Monster, and the Bible says in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. Well, 11,000 is definitely more than 3 people.
Didn't you miss something off from the beginning of that Bible quote?
Some of the illustrations of these sightings right here. We've got the Spicer family saying that they saw the Loch Ness Monster going back into the water with a sheep in its mouth.
Yeah, some people don't tell lies just for attention, do they, Mr. Hovind, if you're watching? So, What you're trying to tell me, I mean, the general theory is that if the Loch Ness Monster is alive and well, and then it's a plesiosaur, or a family of plesiosaurs. So what you're trying to tell me is this plesiosaur that feeds mainly on fish and other aquatic mammals. You believe this story that this plesiosaur jumped out of the bloody water, went hunting for sheep, and let's not forget, this thing is massive. It is enormous, and it's got flippers, so it's not going to run very fast, and it's not going to run very far, is it? Went hunting some sheep, caught a sheep in its mouth, and then jumped back in the bloody water? Really? Is that what you're trying to tell me? What a load of old cobblers. What a load of old baloney. And that poor plesiosaur. It must have been like, what, eating a tampon.
And then Arthur Grant, a veterinarian student back in 1934, said he almost ran into the Loch Ness Monster on his motorcycle. Well, a veterinarian student definitely knows his animals, and he said it was a plesiosaur.
Plesiosaur. What? Stop it now. And that guy was either, I don't know, either had too many San Miguels, or he was smacked up to his tits.
And then we've got a photograph taken down here, 1974. It looks like there is a plesiosaur living out there in the lake.
Now, I typed into a Google Loch Ness Monster photo, and you know, lo and behold, I couldn't find that photo anywhere. Wow. I did find the surgeon's photo. But, funnily enough, you're not using that particular photo in this video. Is it because you know that it's a fake?
In fact, the lake opens up to the ocean on both ends, so it could be that plesiosaurs from the ocean are getting into that lake at certain times.
Now you're just lying. The southern end of the loch is fed by the river, and I hope I can pronounce this right, Oich, which is spelt O-I-C-H, which in turn is fed by the Loch Oich. Now, the northern end flows through the Bona Narrows into Loch Dochfor. I hope I pronounce these right. Now, I just want to get this right because, right, okay. Doch Garroch Weir at the downstream end of Loch Dochfor delineates the start of the River Ness, which connects to the nearby and ultimately leads through Inverness to the North Sea via the Moray Firth. So it's not directly connected. It's got to go through all little canals and little rivers, firths, etc., etc. And if the Loch Ness Monster exists, someone would have bloody seen a massive freaking dinosaur swimming through little lochs and canals and firths, etc., etc.
If you studied lake monsters all around Scotland, there's a whole bunch of them. Loch Ness is just the most famous one that you hear about.
But that's not a plesiosaur, is it? Earlier you said that Nessie was a plesiosaur. Where's the long neck and except where's the body of it? Looks like its head's exploded. Anyway, Mick West from the brilliant metabunk.org debunked that particular photo, and I'm going to show you that very photo and what he did right now. Anyway, look, the boat is visible in the original shape, just needs a little highlighting and adjusting to make it more apparent. You can, on the image on the left, you can almost see the boat, but he's, like I said, he's just adjusted the contrast, etc. And the image on the right there clearly shows a boat. You can see coming out to the left and right, its wake. Jesus Christ. You young earth creationists, you believe any old crap.
And we got this guy. His name is Pete Peterson. He was walking along the beach of Lake Erie and he saw this creature washed up. It was dead, so he stuffed it. There it is on display. Could be a baby plesiosaur.
No, it isn't, and it wasn't. What in fact he did was alter the shape of it to make it look more serpent-like, so it was a monster. He even sewed little bits of skin on the side to make it look like the thing had flippers. It's a fake.
And then in Alty, Georgia, 2013, you got this creature that washed up. They put a statue of it in their visitor center. Well,
Statue, yes, but no remains at all, because they couldn't study the remains because the remains mysteriously disappeared. Nancy Butler, a representative from Georgia Department, this is from National Geographic. Department of Natural Resources said the photos have been sent to their counterparts at the Smithsonian for further inspection. Is it a hoax? The real thing? We don't know, says Butler. She says the department heard about the remains last Sunday after it had already become an online sensation. By the time they were able to inspect the island for remains, they found no trace. How strange. Wouldn't you think that such a such unique discovery would be saved and preserved just so that we could examine it?
If these creatures supposedly lived millions of years ago, why are they still around today?
But we don't see them today because they died out millions and millions of years ago, you weird beard.
And then we can look at these articles over here about the dinosaurs still living in the Congo of Africa.
Oh, God.
The Congo of Africa has a swamp in it called the Lekawala Swamp. It's as big as the whole state of Florida, and it's just a swamp. When missionaries travel out there, they talk to the natives, and the natives tell them stories.
Stories?
They said something was disturbing their local fishing spot, so they put some spikes in the river. They heard it get impaled on those spikes, and they went out there and speared it to death. And that's what they describe, a sauropod dinosaur.
You're talking about the Michele and Bembe now, aren't you? It's just a bit... Oh! How many lies are you going to tell in this video, you? How many? There are no sauropod dinosaurs living there. Got it? Good.
So it looks like we still got some dinosaurs alive today in the more remote areas of the world.
No, we don't. The only dinosaurs that are alive today are called birds. Dr. Hovind. Information. No. Those words don't go together in the same sentence. They really don't. Now, Mr. Hovind and misinformation, yes, they go together. So, that's it. That's about as much lies and about as much stupid and about as much dumb as I can cope with for one video. See you on the next one.